First look at Android 11 Developer Preview 2 port from the Pixel 4 XL running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video, and I am very excited about this video. Why? Because we have a pretty dope Android 11 Developer Preview 2 port from the Pixel 4 XL for the Xiaomi Poco F1. Hats off to all the developers who worked on this ROM. This ROM is very stable, has almost all the things working, and I would say that it is worth a daily driver. Those things out of the way, how do you install this ROM? Well, I have a separate video for that, which is linked in the description of this video and can also be found in the pinned comment. Next thing, let us dive into what all features of Android 11 we get with this build. So you do have notification history in the building. Swipe down. Yes, we have Pixel Launcher, so you can swipe down from anywhere. And as you can see, we do have the option of history. Once you enable it, you'll be able to see all the notifications which you have got. Then we do have the quick setting tiles, and these are the existing tiles which are baked in. And in case you want to add, you have the option of adding all these tiles. And yes, we do have a screen recorder in the building. Now the only downside is that right now it does not record internal audio, but as per reports, Google might be adding the option of recording internal audio with the screen recorder in the final build of Android 11. So that is very good news. And of course, you can record your normal microphone, and if you want to show the touches on the screen, you can do that as well. Once you start the recording, you'll get a timer on the top right, and then the recording will start. And once you're done with the recording, you just need to swipe down and say stop this recording, and it will be saved to the gallery. Next up, a change you'll see is in the wallpaper picker. So if I go into styles and wallpapers, you can see that the UI for the wallpapers is not the same as Android 10. It is very different, and you do not have the big ugly icons. You now have a small square box for each of the options, which looks more elegant. Going back into styles and wallpapers, for now you'll see only one option for the clock option, but I'm pretty sure Google is going to add more options for the lock screen clock customization in Android 11. Next up, you do have chat heads or bubbles. All you would need to do is swipe down and then press and hold a message notification, and then you should be able to enable bubbles for that app. And this is very similar to what Facebook Messenger had implemented long time back. You will also notice that you have a separate submenu for conversations in the notifications. Next up, you can always enable developer options, and once you enable developer options, you now do have the option of having your refresh rate display on the screen. So this is pretty nifty feature for those of you who game and want to see the refresh rate in real time. So let me look for that option. So here is that option. It will be right below the app compatibility changes, and here it is, show refresh rate. Bam, on the top left we have the refresh rate, which is right now as 60. Now while we are in developer options, do note that the developers of this build did specifically add the option of hiding the notch on the Poco F1. So display cutout, right now it is set to device default. We'll choose hide. The only downside is that you have to wait for a few seconds before the changes kick in. They will eventually kick in, but you have to be patient about it. So we'll just continue with the video and see when the changes kick in. Another new feature which you will see with Android 11 is that you now have the option of giving permission only once for an application. So let's say I open the camera app and it wants access to my location. I do have the option of allow only this time. So those are your new features of Android 11 Developer Preview 2, which are working like a boss on the Poco F1. Next up, let's have a look at the device specific customizations. So your notch is aligned perfectly fine. There it is. You can see the battery is aligned, your time is aligned, no such issues with misalignment of the contents in the notch. Play Store works absolutely fine. You can download your applications, and of course there it is. Finally, the notch is hidden and right in time because I was showing off the notch alignment. we were at Play Store. So Play Store is working absolutely fine. You can download your applications from the Play Store. The UI is no longer laggy. In my previous video wherein I installed Developer Preview 2.1, the UI was very laggy, so we had to disable all the animations. Well, not on this one. Pretty lucky for us that all the animations are pretty smooth and gestures work like a boss. Then we can also go into display and check the auto brightness. So as you can see, adaptive brightness is on. Brightness level is 86%. Let me hide the ambient sensor and you will see that the brightness automatically decreased to 57%, and once I remove my finger from the sensor it went back to 86%, which means auto brightness is working absolutely fine. Then your calls work absolutely fine along with in-call audio, and system-wide audio is also working like a boss. Then we can go into DRM Info application. Your wide line is L3, which might be a negative or a downside for some of you, but it is what it is. Next up, in case you want to root this build, feel free to root it. My install video does show you how to root it. The only downside is that right now Magisk does not work on Android 11, so you have to make do with super user, which means that you will not be able to use Magisk modules, but I'm pretty sure that most of the developers are going to wait for the final build of Android 11 before they start updating their modules in case the modules do need updating. Fingerprint works like a boss. There is no face unlock on this build. Remember, this is a port from the Pixel 4 XL, and Google has removed face unlock from Android source code. Pixel 4 XL has a solid radar camera, which we do not have the hardware for, and neither do we have the 90 Hz display. So do not expect those features to magically start working on the Poco F1. Next up, charging works absolutely fine. Rapid charging in the building, and there is no excessive battery drain, which would, drain excessive battery. Say you go to sleep and wake up and find your device is turned off. Nothing like that. Very smooth build. Double tap to wake works like a boss. Here it is. Double tap to wake in the building. The animation I think is not as smooth as I would expect it to be, but this is a port. Next, Bluetooth works absolutely fine. You can connect devices, play music across various devices. Headphone jack also works. YouTube picture in picture along with live caption works. And while we are at the topic of live caption, make sure that when you install this ROM, you do update all your applications from the Google Play Store. Now, if you're expecting Google Assistant 2.0, well, I have some bad news for you over there. We do not have the new UI, or we do not have Google Assistant 2.0 on this build. We still have the old UI, so that might be a bummer for some of you. Coming over to the camera, you can see that I do have 3 Gcam ports installed on this build. Now the BSG one is crashing, which means those of you who want EIS on videos, you are out of luck. Sanity's build works like a boss and is the best one for this build. Here it is, the permission which I was talking about only this time. And once you install Sanity's build, I checked and most of the things including slow motion and videos are working. Pictures of course work like a boss. So all in all, a pretty dope build, and it is very exciting to see that the Poco F1, being how old of a device it is, it still has great developer support, and the fact that it might be one of the first devices, if not the first, to get a fully working Android 11 port once Google pushes out Android 11 builds for the Pixel devices. There it is, peeps. That was our first look at the Android 11 Developer Preview 2 build from the Pixel 4 XL working like a boss on the Poco F1. And that'll do it for this video. Hope my video helped you. Likes, shares and subscribes are appreciated. Feedback and comment more than welcome. See you when I see you.